Let us look now at a different perspective of evolution, one that we have discussed earlier, where all of one's lives are simultaneous. The interesting point is that each life has the potential to be the one that can allow the soul energy to come forth. However, it is a matter of how adaptable and flexible that being is within the physical, etheric, emotional, and mental bodies. If there is a large amount of rigid programming, then the flexibility is not there that could increase the vibration to the point where the soul can inhabit the body. What happens is a sequential expansion of vibration. You experience the bodies sequentially, although they all exist now. Although it is the personality level which gathers the experience initially, it is the soul level which pulls together all of the pieces and converts them into a level of wisdom. The soul draws the nectar from the experiences of its thousands of physical lives, processes, and integrates them on its own level, and creates what is known as wisdom. Wisdom is then filtered back down to the personality. The personality, going from one lifetime to another as it experiences it, then has a seeming increase of wisdom. This is a bit of an illusion because the soul is gathering all of that wisdom simultaneously from all of the lifetimes. It is a matter of how much wisdom you, on the soul level, have chosen to experience in each particular belief system of life and death. If you firmly believe that you will become more enlightened and more wise as you sequentially experience your lifetimes, then that's the way it will happen for you. It means that you have been buying into that particular scenario, as have most people on this planet. This brings forth the illusion of evolution. Now we say the illusion of evolution. It is only safe to speak of illusion from beyond the experience of being within the illusion. When one steps beyond the boundaries of this illusory reality, then one can see the mechanics of how this all occurs in the eternal now, and how all of this is a synchronistic experience. When you have the experience of the soul finally and firmly anchored into physicality, then that experience will be reverberating throughout all of your other bodies, throughout all of your other lifetimes, simultaneously. Therefore, much of what you have touched upon in those other lifetimes was the backward reverberation of your experiences of now. What we are saying is that past lifetimes are really not of tremendous consequence. Although it does make interesting reading, the emphasis, of course, is to be in the now and to truly experience who you really are right now. What we can do now in terms of these books is to wrap them in the light of the consciousness. That, of course, has been the focus throughout the roles of consciousness through your experience and others, being, of course, the ascension, ascending beyond the confines of this physical plane. The pathway for that is truly the channel you have been cultivating. It would be very useful to describe the mechanics simply as a means of allowing that ascension process to come forth. In developing a particular energy format, when one seeks to have this ultimate growth in the physical body to the elevated degree of the various levels of the etheric light body, then one simply has to prepare the ground. Preparing the ground first and foremost means building that central channel. The central channel is, of course, your bridge, not only from your lower self to your higher self, but from the earth itself to the source, which will allow your I Am, Mahatma, to assist in the synthesis, the integration of who you truly are. There has been enough of this fragmented, confused personality thinking that it is all there is, or further, believing that their fellow travelers such as Jesus, Muhammad, and Buddha are gods, thus limiting humankind even more. Mahatma enters into the picture as a source energy transmitter. We can liken it to a microwave relay station. Most of what we do is to work with those who are developing themselves to the point of being that clear lightning rod whereby the energies can flow very directly. It is quite important in the work we and you are doing that people have a clear understanding of who they are in their grander scope. In other words, in their function and purpose within this planetary format. As we work with that, it would be useful to discuss the relationship between the process of building the channel and the process of unfoldment of the consciousness and other realms and other ways. By that we mean, how does the opening of the channel on the physical plane for the disciple initiate affect the other elements of his being? It's really quite an interesting synergy when you look at it from a non-time perspective. When you see the actual unfolding of one facet of the being down here and how that actually affects another facet, which seems to be in a wider range of understanding, a wider range of experience. When you invoke the soul and begin to bring in that soul connection through your channel, what you're actually doing throughout the entire system of who you are, from all the various levels of consciousness that have been discussed, is expanding the channel of all of those other beings who are you. Every other realm of consciousness that you live in has its own energy format, and every other aspect of yourself on those levels also has a similar energy format that have their own correspondence with the channel that we're working on here.